We've been involved with this client here for a couple of years, helping with their landscape, building these rock terraces around the trees, and a lot of work here has gone in for the last 2 years. And also then they had asked for a beehive, so we put a beehive up here this past spring, and I'm going to give them a quick check right today and give them some sugar water to make sure that they're still in good shape. The honeybees are quite fascinating. You see right here, there's a few guard bees that are checking out the other bees that come and go with the pollen to make sure that they belong to this hive. And if they don't belong to this hive, then they get kicked out and chased away. There's 10 frames in the lower box and 10 more frames in the upper box. And then this box here has where I put the sugar water, a 1-to-1. And pretty soon I'll be increasing it to 2-to-1 ratio to make sure there's plenty of food for them through the winter. This year we had a fairly dry spring. It didn't have a lot of wildflowers and native vegetation for them to absorb the pollen from. Grapes, ironically enough, are not a source of pollen for bees. Even though there's flowers in grapes, we don't need bees to pollinate. They do visit the clusters, but it's not a necessity. Whereas many other California crops, such as almonds and peaches and onions and so many different crops, do need honeybees to help with pollination. But nonetheless, we do have enough wildflowers and plants, and even to some degree the oak trees, that provide enough nectar for these bees. And what I mean by even oak trees is the fact that at this time of year, if there's a lot of aphid, they leave the honeydew on the leaves, and the bees can get that honeydew and eventually make the process of honey from that. I don't have all my garb on today. I don't feel like I need to. We do have some active bees here going through the entryway, and I bought a nice special copper roof for them to keep them extra cool. On the inside here, to keep the bees from drowning, I've got lavender laced, so that way they can crawl out of the sugar water if they need to. So I'm pouring quite a generous amount of sugar water here for them to feed on for a while, and I'll come back in a few more days. Have them in a good spot for ventilation, and from the afternoon hot suns, it's always good to have a little shade over them to keep them from cooking inside their hive box. It's always nice to have a constant source of water, or leaking faucet. In this case, we got the tank that leaks a little bit. So they always have water, because they'll drink about 1/4 water a day. Some people will put out dishes of water, something shallow, so they don't drown in them as well. And the fact that the honeybee only has about a 30-day life cycle. The queen can live up to maybe 5 years and produce 1,800 eggs a day inside a good healthy hive. So that's why the bees have to go out and find food source, or we have to supplement them in an area where we may not have as much food available at certain times of the year. They go out, a queen is chosen by the hive, and I'm giving you the short version, but it's chosen by the hive, and they go out on a maiden virgin flight, and as many drones, the males, will inseminate that one queen as they can in that short flight, and then she's good to go for 5 years.